Uh, let's get started. Without further ado, thank you for joining us today. We're here to walk you through our latest edition on the Stake Saudi experience, the investment strategies, broadly speaking, as well as the latest one that we're about to launch, and take any questions. I'm afraid I'm also myself only going to be available for the first 30 minutes or so of this webinar, but I'll be handing over to the very capable hands of our team members, Saran and Haya, and others who can address all your questions. So without further ado, let's get started. Uh, Today, we are your hosts. I'm Manar, co-founder and co-CEO of Stake. I'm joined with Saran, our product manager for Saudi Arabia. The agenda, we're going to be talking about the Saudi macro and micro backdrop, as insofar as what's driving our bullish sentiment and our strong conviction with the Saudi market and its potential for outsized returns. And moving on then to the investment strategies that we are developing for our users, our investors, uh, and then following off with the Q&A session where we're happy to take any of the questions that you drop on the chat. So to get started, I'm actually here in our Riyadh office today, wanting to really just reiterate, a few of the headlines and a lot of the reasons why this market here in Saudi Arabia is so special. And I'll jump into a bit of a recap. So we all know that the opportunity in Saudi's real estate market is quite unparalleled. And we're here to, kind of walk you through a few of the reasons why this growth we see is going to be driving that opportunity for us. So what's driving the growth? The real estate market in Saudi has been traditionally a very strong contributor to the economy and to the private wealth creation effect that the country has experienced. Um, Population has continued to grow at a very high rate, with GDP growth as well, supporting that, leading to a high GDP per capita, as well as growth in urban population. And so there has been a mix of internal and external migration that have been driving the real estate market at large, in places that are key pillars of Vision 2030, and starting off with the capital, Riyadh, where a lot of projects and new housing has been kind of earmarked from the get-go as a national agenda of the Vision 2030, giving home ownership back to the Saudis, growing it from what it was back in 2016 in the 40% kind of mark, going targeting a national home ownership rate of 75% as part of Vision 2030, and they've been quite good at achieving that over time. Today we are in 2025. It's already 65%. So the market has really kind of delivered that objective, or kind of uh, is well on track to achieving that objective by 2030. Uh, Tourism is also fueling a ton of business activity, leading to more job creation and expat movement into like we said, the centers of business like Riyadh. And there's fantastic giga projects that are part of the Vision 2030 blueprint, if you will, like Neom and Gidea, and specifically in Riyadh, you have Diraiya, you have New Murabba, you have Roshan, you have a ton of other kind of strategic bets or projects that are creating and fueling tons of jobs. Literally, such projects, as well as new businesses being created under the PIF, the Public Investment Fund's Vision 2030 agenda, like Riyadh Air, are creating or expected to create 525,000 jobs in Saudi. So the strong stimulus from the government and the growth that comes in the population in tandem, as well as the non-oil sector, I should say, of the GDP, is really fueling a market that has a lot more upside than downside when you look at real estate capital values or real estate returns, that broadly speaking. Moving on to the next slide, please. So why is now a good time to invest in Saudi? There's been reports of late trying to estimate the demand for new homes until 2030. It's about 150,000 new homes a year. And the current 3.5 million really needs to kind of grow and is expected to grow based on announced projects to 3.9. But essentially, just doing some back of envelope math, you can clearly see that there's more demand for homes than is being built. Even the Riyadh target for the population reaching 12 million, by 2030 means that 3 million need to come, and I think that's what's driving the 115,000 new homes at least a year. It really kind of again sets the scene for a market that can grow in terms of capital values. We're seeing also Saudi becoming a major investment hub. FDI is already close to 100 billion riyals. It has crossed it last year, if I'm not mistaken, and it is targeting $100 billion, which is 375 billion riyals, by 2030 as part of the Vision 2030 plan. There's been a ton of reform, a ton of initiatives designed to stimulate the building of housing and more commercial facilities. To be frank, there's been a undersupply of quality A grade office space, and in the last 3 years, there's been more building activity in the commercial real estate sector as well. But essentially, when you look at what programs like Second do, is that they support more Saudis to own homes and really kind of tap into the subsidized financing or home loan facilities from the banks with very low down payments to fuel this demand side of the market and actually achieve the national home ownership target, as I mentioned, that's been essentially growing very steeply, much more steeper than expectations if you look at planning, and so they're well on track to achieving that objective. The Ijar leasing platform is also a fantastic addition to the ecosystem in the real estate market, when it basically streamlines your leasing contracts and they become very enforceable, and so they boost transparency as well. Those initiatives are highly creative or contribute to a highly efficient and investable asset class when it comes to the real estate market. Now, there's one big elephant in the room as well that everyone is aware of, is that historically Saudi real estate has been closed off from foreign ownership, and you had to have either be a Saudi national, or a resident of Saudi Arabia to be able to acquire your home, and you'd be limited to your home historically, and that really kind of closed off the market for international investors. The new foreign ownership law that we're aware of, that is coming, will enable international access. And only this month, actually, there was a recent announcement towards this objective, a recent release of it, to show how gradually we are getting there, allowing investors to buy property for investment purposes under certain regulated kind of conditions, including an exclusion from the holy cities of Mecca and Medina, but essentially starting to allow foreign non-residents to own properties here in Saudi Arabia. Uh, uh, I think we can move on now to the next phase, and I'll just say that uh, with this kind of set of conditions, and obviously foreign ownership set to open up, we're very, very bullish on the market, and that it will drive a lot more capital to the market. Very comparable benchmark, although it's a very different trajectory or very different dynamics. Is the Dubai market, where foreign ownership was only released in 2005, but since then, if you look at any price chart, you can see that capital values have grown tremendously, and capital that flows from abroad is massive. And so that for an economy like Saudi, which is the largest economy in the GCC and the Arab world, there is definitely a sense of having that kind of trajectory post foreign ownership coming, and that's a transition that is going to be a once in a lifetime opportunity for us to invest in Saudi. And stake really allows you to start doing that before this foreign ownership law goes into effect and starts to be rolled out, and actually kind of really become activated by the foreign investment community, and those buyers that have been surveyed by the likes of Knight Frank and what have you, are really sitting on the sidelines as of today and have capital to deploy. So benefiting from entering early is something we believe in, and it's never been as easy to do so than now with stake, and our opportunities in Saudi Arabia, no matter where you are. So one of the key aspects of our platform is that, in line with our mission to empower everyone with no kind of discrimination, empowering everyone to own and build wealth through real estate. We are really, for the first time ever, allowing anyone from anywhere in the world to invest in real estate funds, or real estate assets through funds, private funds per se. Specifically, we have a license from the CMA, the Capital Market Authority here, to distribute these fund investment opportunities that we like to keep very limited to a single asset, in that that really kind of positions the product and our ultimately the underlying exposure for you to be your own kind of fund manager, if that makes sense, to create your own portfolio through stake, just much like the way you would do in the UAE, where you're buying fractions of individual apartments. What we're doing in Saudi is we're letting you buy into single asset private real estate funds that even more inaccessibly, actually, offer you the ability to participate instead of an individual apartment or a villa, that you're buying into a whole building, essentially, in the way of a fund. So we're making that accessible for the first time for foreign non-residents anywhere in the world. That product, we feel, is a lot better than a REIT. A REIT, and the REITs, especially in Saudi, and even in the UAE, but in Saudi also, there's been more REITs that listed in the local stock exchange that are accessible to people, typically only until now as well, also subject to having a residency in Saudi Arabia. So it was kind of closed off from the outside world. Only recently did, kind of large broker dealer or trading apps have give access to the Saudi, stock exchange, the Tadawul market where REITs are listed. But really, what you look if you look at the REIT market, you look and see that the performance has not been great. There's been a lot of dislocation between the share prices of these REITs and the underlying assets. And for those reasons, as well as having the volatility that comes with being listed, of course, you're trading that off with having liquidity, but it comes really at a high price. And in our view, it's really much better to have access to the pure real estate underlying risk, underlying exposure through stake, which is basically just like a REIT, but it's single asset, and it allows you basically to create your own REIT with your own bespoke portfolio of private real estate funds or private real estate assets. Now, the private real estate funds were historically closed to retail investors, so that they were subject to very high minimum tickets, 1 million riyals and above, typically. But through stake, now you can enter those opportunities from as little as 500 riyals. Now, these funds also, as we mentioned earlier, were reserved for the Saudi nationals and residents. Now they're open to anyone, and those assets are meant to really grow your capital over a fixed duration of anywhere between 3 to 5 years, I would say, and kind of in the large majority. Uh, Finishing off with just an overview of the products and types of fund strategies that we are offering on stake. We have at the top of the list for us is income generating, in line with our DNA and our ethos. Our slogan is your second income, as you might know. So we are very keen to really be the innovator to bring back income generating funds, because most of the private real estate funds over the last 5 years have been very strongly concentrated around the development opportunity, which is a great opportunity in itself, and we could talk about it as well. We have one such fund in the making, or that is coming soon. But we are big on reintroducing income generating opportunities that are, again, much better than the available products on the REIT market, that can give you a very consistent distribution of income, that we will be doing again. Unlike no other private real estate funds, we're distributing that dividend now on a monthly basis. In Saudi, you wouldn't typically see that. Even the REITs, they distribute on a quarterly basis. So that is, again, in line with our fractional ownership product in UAE, where we distribute dividends on a monthly basis. But what's beautiful about income generating opportunities in Saudi is that the returns are even higher than UAE, on a yield basis, for the type of also risk that you're taking, or the kind of profile of a investment that you're looking at. And so it's a highly attractive risk return reward profile, and you can maximize your returns by participating in the growth of the market, while at the same time earning a consistent second income distributed to you on a monthly basis. The second in line type of fund that we have and we plan to roll out soon is the development funds. Those development opportunities are non-income generating, in that they don't distribute dividends typically. but they have a strategy around them that involves uh, participating at the equity level into a project. What does that mean? That means acquiring the land and uh, partnering with developers to build the project so that over the span of 2 to 4 years, typically, you complete the project and you start leasing it to exit it. That's one base case plan. Some of the kind of developments that we've seen around residential opportunities typically also leverage or utilize off-plan sales through the WAFI program that's been released in the last 5 years in Saudi Arabia that helps to streamline off-plan sales that really kind of enhance returns for development projects. So participating with alongside developers into that strategy is really something we believe in a market like Saudi Arabia for all the reasons we mentioned earlier. Um, and lastly, there's fix and lease, which is a new strategy you might perhaps have seen in the UAE market that we've been very active of late, releasing fix and flip properties. It's kind of the similar concept, but instead of flipping or essentially selling the property after completing the works, what we're going to be doing with these fix and lease funds is post completion of the upgrades and renovations in those properties, we are going to enhance the rental yield and have a higher distribution component to that fund. So basically, dividends will be even higher than income generating opportunities on fix and lease. There's a whole strategy to make sure that we can justify or support that uplift in the rental values and the rental income that comes with, of course, spending that capital, that component of the capital raised into upgrading the facilities, the amenities, the individual units themselves in a building, which we can kind of also tell you more about. But we have a fix and lease opportunity that is right around the corner from being launched today, so you can also see it for yourself. So with those three opportunities, we feel like you have the best of all worlds to kind of build a portfolio in Saudi Arabia that's sufficiently diversified and kind of can weather any storm. We make sure that, of course, these opportunities are vetted by our investment committee of experts, and we work with property consultants that are highly reputable and, of course, very experienced in the market to make sure our assumptions are all corroborated or verified, and we basically allow you to make informed investment decisions without kind of to have the full transparency at your fingertips, just like you have in the UAE, with as much information as you can as you need in order to kind of understand the profile of investment that you're selecting and having the right alignment of expectations with the opportunity. So with us, of course, when you invest, you completely outsource the hassle of ownership, and so that's why we cater for small investors as well as large investors alike. That ultimately we give this kind of end-to-end digital ownership experience that we feel very strongly is the right way to invest in real estate through stake. With that, I will now pass the ball to Saran to deep dive into the investment strategies themselves. And if I don't get a chance again and I have to drop off reasonably soon, it's been a pleasure being with you again today. I hope you guys found it informative, and I'm happy to participate in the next webinars if you'd like to ask me any personal direct questions. But without further ado, I'm going to hand over now to Saran to walk you through the investment strategies in more detail.
Thanks, Manar. Yeah, super exciting seeing the incredible opportunities unfolding in the Kingdom's real estate market. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm Saran Sound, product manager for Stake in Saudi Arabia. Super excited to take you through today's remaining session and how you can be a part of this thriving market through Stake's investment strategy, again, in a fully digital experience. So just to note, these strategies aren't theoretical. They're built around real assets, like Manar said, real demand and real investor outcomes. Each one is built to match a real investor goal. So with that being said, let's explore each, starting with the income generating funds. So this is a classic. These funds are all about stability, predictability, and mainly fully stabilized assets, be it residential, commercial, or mixed use, that generate cash flow from day one. And depending on the fund, we distribute dividends monthly, quarterly, or semi-annually. So let me give you a quick success story we're seriously proud of. Our first Saudi fund, the Mukia Backyard, was a big moment for us and for the market. It wasn't a soft launch or test balloon. It was a 187 million Riyal fund that we backed by over 5,200 investors at stake. And in just the first 2 months of the fund, we've already paid out over 1.2 million Riyals in dividends. And that's real money going to real people's accounts. Not someday, but right now. And for many of our investors, this was the first ever real estate investment in Saudi Arabia, and this is just the beginning. So moving on, we have the second fund strategy, which is the fix and lease. And this is something that I am the most excited about. It really targets a high upside niche, which is prime real estate that isn't living up to its full potential. You can think buildings that are well positioned, but just a little underwhelming. And that's where this is really powerful. The properties are basically renovated, and then we use that unlock stronger rental income for you as an investor, and also long-term upside. Now, our latest opportunity, which is launching soon, is located in the Al Alaya district in Riyadh. And if you know Riyadh, you know that location by name. It is where the action is. It's Riyadh's Midtown Manhattan, Mayfair, London, downtown Dubai, all rolled into one. It's where residential, hospitality, everything intersect. And our asset in this area will be transformed into a high-performing, high-yield asset. And the performance expectations are really strong. If you want to see the full breakdown of this opportunity, the targets, the yields, the timeline, it's all available on the app. You can download the app, complete your onboarding, and view all the details. Again, strategies like this are the perfect middle ground. It's not a ground-up development. It's not just passive income. It's really smart, active capital in a market that's undergoing rapid evolution. And again, here's the kicker. This kind of opportunity used to be reserved for the inside circle, and now it's open to you as investors, and you can get a piece of these, diverse strategies that we're offering. Up next, we have the final strategy type, which is development funds. Now, these are for investors looking to participate in the Saudi market with a long-term growth story. So we're working with developers and on new projects, new communities, hotels, mixed-use opportunities that don't generate income during construction, but the upside at the point of exit, can be significant. And these are the funds that are a way to ride the wave of, again, the Vision 2030, the large-scale infrastructure development that's undergoing in Saudi Arabia. So even though they don't really pay income, there's a really high upside at the point of exit. And that's where you can, again, like Manar said, capitalize on all these different strategies that we're offering to build a super diversified portfolio to your liking and really have a piece in the game of this growing market. So that being said, it's a wrap on our strategies and overview on the Saudi Arabia market. We would love to hear from you on any questions you have. You can drop your questions into the Q&A box on Zoom, and we're here to answer them. Also, if you haven't already, go ahead and scan this QR code. You can get the Stake app that gives you, again, access to all our upcoming funds in Saudi Arabia and also properties in UAE, all from your smartphone. And yeah, we'll break into a Q&A session shortly. We also have Khalid joining us, who will also help with answering any questions you may have. As Manar mentioned, he may have to step out, so we have additional team members here. So let's just see what are the questions coming in.
Hi guys, I'm going to take Tariq's first question before I go regarding a very timely and topical announcement that was released recently regarding the new regulations for the real estate market in Riyadh. Um, we're aware of a few aspects that were released of late. There's been a lot of land in the north that was released. The total number of square meters is 81 million, and roughly half of it we're aware of was kind of released prior to that kind of announcement. So it wasn't really kind of a big surprise. While second half was highly anticipated as well. This is meant to kind of release more supply into the market and actually help stimulate more building activity, especially when you combine it with an expected white land tax as well. That is going to be where there is currently a white land tax, but there's an expected increase in the white land, meaning developers will be subject to paying that tax, a higher one. We don't know exactly the level. It's currently 2.5%. It can increase. There's talk around 5 to 10%, but we believe that that will drive building activity for all those homes that we said the market needs, which is very, really the rationale behind, I think, the new regulation. Likewise, you might have been referring to the rental market where there's the introduction of price controls, which is very, very welcomed into a mature and developed market like Riyadh, where tenants want protections, and landlords also need to have guiding posts, guidelines in order not to kind of, let's say, abuse the market or the demand side. And so that's very welcome. Most mature markets operate that way, and we really think that's a welcomed addition to the evolution of the space of the market at large. It will allow us to have streamlined operations and to price assets and rental values accurately. So how we will adapt to it is essentially, kind of make sure that our rental values are within the index and within the bandwidth of rental increases going forward. And in our kind of world where we buy, for instance, fix and lease properties, we make sure that the lease post renovation is within the rental index and allowed. If we're looking at uplifting rental values or increasing the rent for the existing tenants within the regulations. So for us, it's really something that we look forward to operating under these new regulations. And in our view, they really kind of it's a very strong sign of a maturing market that has all the reasons why it can grow even further from here after you introduce such a very important stability controls and regulations. I'm hopeful that this kind of this answered your question, Tariq. At this point, I have to apologize and excuse myself, but I'll leave you with Saran and Khalid to take over the other kind of set of questions that we're starting to get on the Q&A. Thank you very much. And
Thank
I'll
you,
see you
Manor.
next
Thank you.
time.
Thank
Take care.
you. All right. Let's answer some of the other questions we're seeing coming in here. So I'm just going to go through some of the questions that are already answered for others for visibility. Someone's asked the difference between fix and flip and fix and lease. So fix and flip is something we offer in the UAE product. It's basically renovating a property to sell it for a profit. Fix and lease, like Al Fardan, which we're going to be offering in KSA, is upgrading the property and then renting out at potentially higher income. And then that fund proceeds to give you steady income over time. So that's how inherently those strategies are different. We had a question about our existing fund on when the valuation will be updated. So it's again scheduled for June, and we conduct valuations every 6 months, and that will be available for you to view in your portfolio, to view your returns, view how those valuations look like. So that is, again, Stake is a fully digital experience, and we'll keep you updated along the way. There's some questions here around, are you going to introduce tokenization anytime soon? So this is something we're actively looking into. There has been some news again in Dubai specifically, or the UAE, about tokenization, and our team's always on top of seeing how we can use the latest rules and regulations and use that in a beneficial way for our investors. So yeah, it is something we're looking into, and you'll hear more from us soon. Do we need to have a Saudi bank account to get the dividends? Can non-residents invest? So you do not need to have a Saudi bank account to get dividends. And yes, non-residents can invest. There is a caveat where non-resident investors will have a 5% withholding tax applicable to all distributions, be it the rental income or the capital gains at the end of the fund. So I just want to clarify, the 5% is on the distribution. So let's say you're getting 100 riyals every month, you're going to be having 5 riyals withheld for the withholding tax. So it's not taking away 5% from your yield, but it's taking away 5% from the amount that you distributed. And yeah, again, you do not need a Saudi bank account to get those dividend payments. Some questions here on the capital appreciation of the Al Fardan fund, which is the fix and lease. So there are some questions about it being low compared to the other funds. So again, just to clarify this, the Al Fardan Fix and Lease Fund is focused on income generating rather than capital appreciation. So again, the yield that we're offering for fix and lease is really above and beyond, standard yields in the market, and that's the benefit of using the capital smartly and renovating the property. Of course, there will be some benefit of renovating the property, and then at the time of exit, you will get some value add from that. But again, it's because our focus is on income with the fund and not necessarily capital appreciation. Again, the types of strategies we're offering are completely broad. You have income generating, you have fix and lease, and then you have development. So depending on your risk appetite, depending on the opportunity, there's going to be different benefits to each one. So we highly recommend diversifying, taking use of all the opportunities that we're going to be listing on the platform. Each one has their unique selling point, and we're really excited for the benefits that Al Fardan is going to bring you as an investor, with those high yield dividend incomes hitting your stake wallet once renovations are done, and that's going to be super powerful. Is there an exit strategy for the funds? So the funds typically right now don't have, let's say, a mid-cycle exit strategy currently. That's something we are looking to work on, similar to how we do things in UAE. Currently, the funds have the exit strategy based on the fund duration. So that's when you will be able to exit the fund and when you get all your returns realized. So again, more updates to that. Stay tuned. We make sure we update all of our investors through emails, in-app communications, webinars, website as well, to keep you up to date with all of the new features that we have. So yeah, definitely something you can look forward to in the future, which is multiple types of exit strategies, but nothing concrete on that yet. What does first release opening soon mean? So with our new launch in Al Fardan, we are basically tackling fundraising in tranches. So the first release is basically a small bucket of the fund that will be available to investors early on to capitalize and get in on the fund and basically become a unit holder in that fund. And in the future, depending on demand, there may or may not be other releases. But the first release is what it's going to start with. And if you're getting in, you're guaranteed that you're going to be getting units into the fund and make use of the benefit that the fund has to offer you as an investor. What will the renovation scope be for fix and lease? So all of these details about the exact opportunity can be accessed from our mobile application. We have the QR code displaying on the screen here. If you have it on your mobile phone already, you can open it, complete onboarding, and then have a full look at the exact details of the opportunity, including the renovation scope, the returns, who are the stakeholders involved, what are the third parties that we're partnering with to get you this opportunity. And we really try to be fully transparent in the details on the fund detail page. If you are not getting the answer to your questions, we also have our incredible team at your disposal to answer any questions. We have an in-app chat, we have a WhatsApp chat, and we also have an email. So definitely feel free to reach out on those channels if you have any questions beyond what's listed on the product, and we'll be happy to answer for those. What is withholding tax? So withholding tax is a tax that's applicable to non-residents in Saudi Arabia. It is something that the Saudi Arabia government has mandated. It's not mandated by stake, but we have to adhere to the local compliance. And it is only applicable to non-residents on their distributions. And that is 5% of the distributions that you receive as a non-resident investor. What's the average investment per investor generally on stake? I don't have the answer on the top of my head, but we do have, again, like Manar mentioned, we have our minimum ticket size being 500 riyals and all the way up to whatever your wallet can invest. And we have a wide range of investors, from institutions, professional investors, qualified investors, and then retail investors. So again, our mission is to make real estate investing accessible to all. And so everyone has the opportunity to participate with stake and get a piece in these real estate funds that are capitalizing on the Saudi Arabia market. Let's see, what else do we have here? Is the dividend yield mentioned on the platform the net yield, or some extra costs will be factored out from the dividend yield? So these are the dividend. The dividend yields are the net income that you will receive as an investor. Again, mentioning in the tax component that non-residents have to have withheld. That will be in addition to that net yield. But the net yield is what the investors will be receiving in Saudi. Amazing. I see a lot of the questions have been answered. So there's also a question about the annual limit for retail investors in KSA. So stake as a business in Saudi Arabia is regulated by the Capital Market Authority, CMA. And under these regulations, we have an annual limit, which is per fund, which is 200 riyals. And so if you were to unlock additional limit per fund, you would need to qualify yourself as what we call a qualified investor, of which all the details are again available on the mobile application. There are certain criteria that you need to meet for us to classify you as a qualified investor, and that would unlock all the limits, or remove all the limits rather, for investing on your profile. To check that out, you can head over to the profile section on the Stake app, click your name on the top section of the profile, and then look at your investor type, and there you can get more information of what you need to qualify yourself as a professional investor. Again, Stake is a qualified and regulated business in Saudi Arabia and UAE, so we do have to adhere to all the rules and regulations in these markets, and that's what makes us, again, really trustworthy as well. can you go through the process of depositing funds to the Stake app and the difference between the UAE and KSA? Excuse me. So the process is almost identical. You would head to, so there's two ways you can invest in a fund. One is directly at checkout. So you can use one of our available payment options. This is consistent for both Stake UAE and Stake KSA. You go directly at checkout, add your debit card or your bank transfer, and select that payment method and check out. So that's direct investment. There's another way, which is through depositing funds in your Stake wallet. So depending again on the product, we have separate wallets in Stake UAE and separate wallets in Stake KSA. So depending on which market you want to invest in, you need to deposit funds into the correct wallet. And you can do that from the wallet page on the app. And you will also see all the available payment options there. In Saudi, specific to Saudi, we're also allowing users to invest with credit cards, which is not allowed in the UAE. So that's one additional payment option we have available in Saudi. And we also are proudly supporting Sadad payments, which is a local payment system to Saudi Arabia. So if you are a KSA national or a resident in Saudi Arabia, you can utilize the Sadad payment option as well to pay directly through a invoice that's generated on your name. And that also just super streamlines your investment process. And we're really committed to offering payment options that are catered to the local market and also to our international investors. So that's something you can constantly, again, see us working on and making it super easy for investors to deposit and also to withdraw. Let's see some additional questions here. So we have a question again about the 5% tax. I can again clarify this just so we're making sure everyone's clear on how this tax is calculated, because I do know how this affects ultimately the investor returns. So the 5% tax again is applicable to non-residents in KSA. The tax is only applicable to the distributed amount. So if you're getting the dividend income, it's applicable only on that income. And then at the time of exit, it's also going to be applicable to the distributions that you'll be getting from, basis of your investment. So that's the 5% for non-residents only. How can you transfer the dividend between UAE to KSA and from KSA to UAE by the app without withdrawing the amount? Yes, so this is something we're actively looking into, but we currently do not support this. The KSA and UAE wallets are treated separately and independently. So if you were to transfer money, you would have to withdraw it to your own account and then separately invest in KSA. However, because we are still very new to the KSA market and we are operating in 2 regions, we are looking at ways to make that even more efficient and feature friendly for our investors. So yeah, stay tuned for more news on that. But currently, if you were to invest, you would have to separately invest in both wallets, and they're treated independently. Awesome. I do not see any additional questions. Again, if you have any questions, guys, we have a few more minutes that we can answer them. You can feel free to use the Q&A box, and I'll be happy to take those answers. Again, this is not the only forum for you as investors or potential clients to be involved with us. We have multiple feedback channels through our live chat in-app. We have WhatsApp chat. We have a amazing team that's ready to answer all your questions, any comments, any feedback you may have, both from a product sales or customer success standpoint. And we also have ways you can reach us through surveys or product interviews. So I highly recommend, when you do have the opportunity to engage with us, and if you really value value us taking the time to make your investor experience even better, I would highly recommend you reach out and share your feedback. We really take it seriously and want to bring all the improvements we can to our product. All right. I think no more questions here. Again, thank you so much for your time here. Really appreciate all these questions. I hope I've answered them. If I haven't, please don't feel free to reach out. Please feel free to reach out again, and we'll be happy to take care of any questions you have. Thanks everyone for joining. Have a great day, and hope to see you in our upcoming webinars.